Shalom. Before I begin this video, first and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Rahawa Kakwadash, and double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that still to this very day continue to rule very well. And Shalom to the hopeful elect that's continually plowing in his work, giving diligence to make your calling and election sure, in faith, true sincerity, and in all charity. Now, this is pretty much a response and also a testimony to the video that Apostle Elder Tahar brought out, which is the title. It was ways to make extra money using mobile apps, and it was basically, this video is a response to a statement that he made concerning you have particular brothers that work on Saturday, and me myself, I was job hopping at one point in time, before I had the gig that I have right now, or even before the previous job I had before I had this one. Basically, like, I usually have my Saturdays off, and it was a point in time where I wasn't able to find a job, and I was working off the grid, so to speak. I always had my Saturdays off, and then it came to a point in time where I finally got a job, and they told me I had to work on Saturday. They needed me on Saturday, and just bring out a testimony that even though if you're faced with having to work on Saturday, of course you got laws that Esau, the so-called white man, set up for you to basically say that they can't come against you if you have a Saturday and you chose Saturday to be your time of worship. They can't come against that, because there's certain laws that are set up here that allow you to have a particular day for your for any form of worship. They got it set up to where it's any form of worship, but in our case, our time of worship, so to speak, or what they call worship, is us going out on the highways and byways to do the work. And at this point in time, concerning a job that I had, basically they were faced with that notion, saying, well, if that was the case, then they'll let me work. They'll still need me, but they'll allow me to work in the morning, because our camp starts in the afternoon. So I say, okay, well, you can work in the morning and then go preach. What they say I can go preach, or they say I can go teach, after I leave work. And I said, okay, well, I was fine with that. So after that, I found another spot where I was making more than what I did before this job. They asked me, basically they was also said the same thing what my previous job said, and said that well, they don't make accommodations for it. This is what they said. They said they don't make accommodations for any form of religion. Only if you're going to school or anything like that, they'll make arrangements. But when it comes to religion or any form of worship, they don't make accommodations for it. And I told them straight up and said, well, you got laws here, and I presented to them and said, look, you got laws here in the U.S. that enable your workers to basically worship on a particular day, and they're going in violation of that, But they were basically coming up with that, the BS, saying that, well, because of this and that, you said this, or you signed this and that, basically the devil being the devil like he is. So now I was faced with a situation where I had to come up with some kind of way to come out to the camp, on time, and to do the work. But lo and behold, because if it's coming up against me and my time at in the camp, and of course Yahweh Shem Yahshua being the power that he is, man. Now is at the time now to where the manager came up to me and said that, okay, well, just hang tight and we'll be able to accommodate you for your time. Basically you want your Saturday off, we're gonna make a time for that. I said, okay. So I bear with it for a little bit, and I said, and I asked how about Shem Yahshua to basically allow me to go out and do the work, man, to allow me to be able to go out and serve you on the highways and byways, man, to do the work that the Lord sent me out to do. Okay. And then afterwards, then the opportunity arises, and there was the opportunity was to have my schedule changed to a certain time and a certain amount of days, and the manager allowed me to have that schedule, because I put it down because it was some sort of bidding process that you had to do, which that's that's another story, man. Like I mentioned before, man, this devil is just doing his job, man. Esau, the so-called white man, is the true devil that the Bible speaks of. All right, so you had this thing called bidding, right, in which you bid your schedule or whichever you want to be, and depending on your rank, on how well you do, you'll get that schedule. And so me using wisdom, I said, okay, well, because they had different schedules that you can pick from, or that you want, and you had these other people that are putting up their different schedules and stuff like that. Well, I was on a higher rank than all the other workers, and I put my schedule on there. All right, and they looked over it, they looked at all the bids, and then I don't know how it went, but I got the schedule, I got my schedule changed, and guess what? Now I have my Saturdays off, so now I can show up to camp on time. Now I can show up to the camp and do the work to my heart's content, But that's a testimony, man. Look, Yahweh Shai basically got me out of that situation to where I wouldn't be able to put my time into Yahweh Shem Yahshua. But now he made it to where he got me out of that situation, and now I'm doing the work. Now I can be able to do the work every Saturday, with no hindrance. So, let's let this be a testimony, and let this be a faith booster to the rest of the Akim, to having to work on Saturday. Look, man, if Yahweh Shem Yahshua wants you to do the work, he's going to allow you to do the work. And also, too, if you're sincerely doing the work, should I say, and he wants you to do the work, he's going to allow you to do the work, man. Because, you got certain camps that do the work on Sunday, But specifically, it has to be on Saturday, at the camp where we at, because it's more convenient for the whole camp to do the work on Saturday, And of course, we look out for the whole camp. So, brothers got to make a way to get there, just for the sake of the whole camp to do the work, as to operate as a body. But like I said before, I know Apostle Elder Tahar made mention that some brothers work on Saturday, and me included. But due to Yahweh Shem Yahshua, which of course I say call halal Yahweh Shem Yahshua, that he did this for me, that now I'm able to do the work on Saturday. So I'm gonna go ahead and jump into a few precepts. I intentionally didn't want to make this video too long, but I'm not good at making my story short. That's pretty much long-winded, but Salakia, forgive me if I was long-winded on the testimony there. But I was going to bring out a few precepts, through the Spirit, in which the first one I have is 2 Peter, the 2nd chapter, and start at I'm going to get to the point. I'm going to start at verse 9. It says, and the Lord knoweth how to deliver the godly out of temptations. See? Because if a regular Jake, that wasn't really about the truth, just lukewarm, should I say, and use the opportunity to get more money because, the Lord has mercy on the humble, man. The one who's sincere about really doing the work. Because if you're really sincere about this, he's gonna make tweaks here and there for you to go out and do the work. He's gonna allow certain things to happen and certain things to shift in a certain direction for you to be able to do the work. All right? Because if you really sincerely ask for Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai to assist you or to help you in this truth and rely on him, because really it falls back on faith. All right? If you have faith that he is able to allow you to do the work fully, then guess what? He's going to do it for you, man. That's why it's encouraged to ask Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai for the things that concern this truth. Now, if it was any other thing like money or cars or anything that's material, the Lord's not going to give it to you, man, because those things are vain. All right? But when it comes to this work, if it's something to edify or to build up the body of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, guess what? He's going to allow that, man. All right? And he's going to make sure that you're taken care of. Why? Because we are the hopeful elect, man. We hope to be a part of the elect. That's why we're striving to continually push out this word so we can be a part of the elect 144,000 number. All right? Now, read verse 9 again. It says, "The Lord knoweth how to deliver the godly out of temptations and to reserve the unjust unto the day of judgment to be punished." See? So the same thing that the Lord does for us, how he delivers us out of temptation. And there's been plenty of cases, and I know that other Akim can vouch for me as well. There's been plenty of cases where they were met with a certain situation that will cause them to go off, cause them to sin, to transgress the words of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai and come up against our agenda, which of course is the agenda of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. And guess what? The Lord looked on our situation and he heard our cries and he delivered us out of those situations. Same thing he did with Lot. Actually, let me start at verse 8. I'm gonna start at verse 8. It says, "For that righteous man dwelling," and it's talking about Lot, right? When he was dwelling in Sodom and Gomorrah, in which he was faced with a situation. All right, he had the angels to come and to dwell with him in his house, and then you had homosexuals and the citizens that the freaks of Sodom and Gomorrah coming and they were about to break down the door, and Lot thought he was he was going to get ran through, man. The Lot really thought that those men was gonna break through and try to get at the angels, man. That they were gonna break into the house and take them. All right. But guess what? The Lord delivered them out of that situation, because the Lord was meaning to destroy Sodom and Gomorrah, if you read about it. But if I remember correctly, I believe it was Abraham that vouched for Lot, because he asked him, he said, "Look, if there is but a certain number out of Sodom and Gomorrah, will you spare that certain number?" And he said, "Yes, I will." And he brought the number. He kept asking them over and over again. Said, "Look, if he went all the way down, and said, look, if there is one that's righteous, would you show mercy unto him?" He said, "Yes, I will." And the one he chose was Lot. All right. And he delivered Lot out of Sodom and Gomorrah when it was destroyed. All right. And that's how the Lord works, man. He knows how to deliver the righteous out of temptations, like the scriptures say. All right. Now, verse 8 again, it says, "For that righteous man dwelling among them, and seeing and hearing vex his righteous soul from day to day with their unlawful deeds." All right, because we could care less about these people and what they got to do, man. Of course, when in captivity, under still in this the slavery, this pit under the so-called white man, Esau or Edom. So yeah, we still got to work. We still got to, serve our time, for our daily bread. But that should never be a hindrance to the work, man. If it's a hindrance to the work, hey, man, that's the time you got to call on Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua to deliver you. All right. Now, verse 9 again, it says, the Lord knoweth how to deliver the godly out of temptations and to reserve the unjust unto the day of judgment to be punished. See? Because the Lord Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua is our master, man, and we're the servant. All right? So, of course, we're going to be rewarded for the work that we do. We're going to win battles. Why? Because the Lord's on our side, all right? Now, I want to grab another precept. All right, it's the book of Psalms, the 20th chapter. I'm going to start at 7th verse. It says, some trust in chariots and some in horses. All right? In which that's multifold, man. All right, it says some trust in chariots and some in horses. Some they believe in the system of Esau. All right? Why? Because they look at the material things. They trust in this government, this system, and they think it's going to continue forever, right? But like the scriptures say, it says, but we will remember the name of the Lord Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, our power. All right? Because once again, he's the one that we trust in, because the Lord makes sure that he solidifies it, whatever way he got to do it. He makes sure that he solidifies your faith in him, man. All right? To where you're fully grounded. Now, the only one he would do it for is somebody who's got to be a part of the hopefully elect number. All right? There's no other explanation, man. Because like the scriptures say, actually, let me see if I can get it in another one. Slack here. I might have to go to the blue letter to get it. Let's see. All right, now it's the book of Romans, the 8th chapter, in the start of verse 16. It says, the Spirit itself bear witness with our spirit that we are the children of the Most High. See? Because we're the children of the Most High because the Spirit bear witness that we are the children of the Most High. How? Because of our acts. All right? Our spirit. All right? You know how the old saying goes, he's a chip off the old block? Well, guess what? We're coming in the likeness of the Most High Yahweh and also his son Yahushua, because Yahushua came in instead of his father. See how that lines up? So of course, like the scripture says, it said the Spirit itself bear witness with our spirit that we are the children of the Most High. And if children, so if we be children of the Most High, right, then heirs of the Most High Yahweh, and joint heirs with Yahushua, which that's our big brother. I gotta put it tell it like it is, man. All right, the firstborn. It says, so if so be that we suffer with him, that we may also be glorified together. See? Now I'm gonna go back. Want to get the book of Proverbs. Bear me for 1 second. I know I'm in transit right now, Slakia, so it's going to take me a little bit to get the precept that I want. right, so this is the book of Isaiah, the 12th chapter, and the 2nd verse. It says, "Behold, the Most High is my salvation. I will trust and not be afraid." See? Because see, what you met when you're met with different situations like that, you can't be fearing, man. You can't be wavering in the spirit. You know, you can't be down saying that, oh man, what if the Lord, leaves me in this situation that I can't get out of, and what if He leaves me here to fold? And no, you can't be in that type of spirit, man. You really have to put your trust in Yahweh Shem Yahshua. Because guess what? It's gonna come a point in time to where we're gonna be fully tested. All right, and that time is the hour of temptation, which I'm speaking about, which is also spoken about in the book of Revelations. All right, is gonna be at the time to where we really have to be on point when it comes to having faith in Yahweh Shem Yahshua, man. All right, because see, things like this, these are how you have in the school. When you go to school, you have homework, you got quizzing, you got tests. All right, and then you have an exam. All right, in which everything that we go through is nothing but homework. It's quizzes. We get tested all the way up to the point to where you have what? A final exam. And that final exam is the deciding factor whether you pass or fail. But guess what? The reason why we take these homeworks, quizzes and tests, is to prepare us for the final exam. So when we and basically, with these quizzes and these tests that we take, you're gonna get some answers wrong, man. There's no avoiding it. You're gonna get answers wrong. You may pass it, you may fail it. But guess what? At the end of those quizzes and tests, they tell you what the answer is. That you might get an X on a question, and then they circle the correct answer. And guess what? That's correction. So when you face with that question again on the final exam, you know what the answer is. All right. So guess what? Same thing when we're met with different adversities and different trials. Since we face it already, we already know what to do. We already know how to combat that. We already know exactly what to do when we're facing a certain particular situation. Because why? Because it comes with experience, and the scriptures speak about that. Let me see if I can get it real quick. Yeah, I know I'm in transit, but I know Yahweh Shem Yahshua is carrying me home right now. This got to come out, man. But it's a few precepts I want to get on experience, right? This is the book of Sirach, the 34th chapter, and actually, let me get the precept. It's Sirach, the 34th chapter, and I'm starting at the 9th verse. It says, "A man that hath traveled knoweth many things, and he that hath much experience will declare wisdom." See, if you have much experience, you're going to declare wisdom. And how you going to declare it? By basically knowing or acting upon a certain particular trial or tribulation that you're faced with. All right. And you're going to show forth wisdom by how you react to it and overcome it. All right. That's why in the time of the hour of temptation or Jacob's trouble, guess what? You're going to be faced with certain situations, and you're already going to know, oh, wait, I've been through this situation before. I know what to do. And then you act on it, and guess what? You apply wisdom. Because see, when you observe something, right, you absorb that information, right, and you learn from it, right, and then once you learn from it, you know what to do. Okay, and you have to be spiritually retarded to run into the same situation you had before, and you don't know what to do, or you fail at it. All right, because the Lord is looking for growth, man. Okay. Now, verse 10, it says, "He that hath no experience knoweth little, but he that hath traveled is full of prudence." See? So you got to put some miles in this thing, man. All right? You got to have some serious mileage in this truth. Okay? And the Lord looks at that, man. He knows. I mean, look at Yahushua. Don't you think that he already know what we was going to go through if we were going to follow him? So, of course, he allowed us to have access back to the Comforter, which we already know is the Scriptures, which ties in to the Holy Spirit. So Yahushua is saying, look, in a roundabout way, he didn't say it, in my exact words, which I'm saying right now. But he said, look, when you come and serve me, actually, I got to bring it out, man. It's like it. There's a scripture that tells you what's going to happen, and these are the words of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua. This is what he said. This Sirach, the 2nd chapter, and the 1st verse says, "My son," says, "My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua." So if you come to serve me, that's what the Lord said. It says, "Prepare thy soul from temptation." So once again, Yahushua already went through it, so he knows what we're gonna go through. He said, "Look, if you come to serve me, you better prepare yourself for temptation." All right. Verse 2, it says, "Set thy heart aright and constantly endure, and make not haste in the time of trouble." See, and that's another thing too. You got to be patient, man. And that's a part of having wisdom, is being patient. All right. When the opportunity arises, then you act on it. Because if you try to move out of season, you're gonna mess yourself up, man. You might put yourself even in a more worse situation than you was before if you move out of season. All right. When the time is not right. Okay. Now it says, verse 3 says, "Cleave unto him and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end. Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully." See? Why? Because whatever is brought upon you, you take it cheerfully. Why? Because this is a learning experience. All right. The Lord is not taking us through these things just to enjoy our suffering. All right. He's taking us through these things so that we can know what to avoid. We're coming back into righteousness. All right. So in order for us to come back into righteousness, we have to know what's wicked, and we've been through it already. We know what's wicked. All right, according to the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua. So now we come into the righteous. All right. So once again, it says, "Cleave unto him and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end." Verse 4. It says, "Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be patient when thou art changed to a lower state." See? And there's been times to where, especially us here at our camp, we've been changed to a lower state before. But did that change? Did that change how we felt about Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua? Did we lose faith? No, we didn't. We kept it moving. We kept doing the work. And guess what? The Lord rewarded us, man. And once again, going back to what I was saying before, the Lord really will reward you, man. And I'm speaking from experience. The Akim can vouch for me. He will reward you. But you got to have faith that he's able to do that. You got to have faith that he will reward you. All right? And also, if you're sincere about it, just to reiterate. Okay? Now, verse 5 says, "For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity." Because he put you through that to see what type of precious metal that you are. It's either if you're a precious metal or you're wood or stone. All right. So acceptable men who are accepted, men who are chosen. All right, which that's what the word elect means. Elect, what goes to the Greek word electos, which means chosen. It's like it. In the furnace of adversity. So acceptable men is chosen out of the furnace of adversity. All right. Again, how are you gonna know how to move in wisdom? All right, or or even to apply wisdom if you never experienced anything, man. That's why a lot of guys that's on the fence about the truth, all right, and twiddling their fingers, whether to get into the work or not. Hey, y'all gonna be out. Look, when all hell breaks loose, you're not gonna know what to do, and you are going to get messed up. All right, we're telling you this because we're warning you, man. All right. Now, verse 6, it says, "Believe in him," right? In which, once again, all the Akim can vouch, "and he will help thee. Order thy way aright and trust in him." So there you go. All right, and I'm gonna pretty much wrap it up on that note. That's a good precept to start the close of the lesson out on. But again, like I mentioned before, man, look, the testimony I just brought out, that's just one of many examples of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai not only rewarding, but also looking out for his servants. All right, and that's on a small scale. Imagine when all hell breaks loose and you're met with even more difficult situations and trials and tribulations, and guess what? That's going to be at the point in time where our faith has to be on point. But all this is practice, man. Like like my man Allen Iverson, said, just practice. We ain't talking about the game, we're talking about practice. And that's what it is, man. This is practice. All right. And then when it comes game time, yeah, we're ready. But our Lord's will, you members of the Hopefully Elect, were edified by this video. And once again, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, Rahawah Kakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that continue to roll very well to this very day. Shalom, peace and safety, salutations to the Hopefully Elect that's continually laboring his work and his labor of love.